Hey, y'all. I'm back. Episode 3. It looks a little different than the last 2 because today I am recording at the Guild, which I'm so excited. But this is actually going to be a segue into another series that I'm so excited to be talking to you guys about shortly. So stay tuned for that. But to round off episode 3 of the Black History Month campaign, I am sitting here with a lovely photographer. And I want to get into this conversation. So tell the people who you are.
Okay, so I go by Angela Lauren. I am a photographer and videographer in Houston, but I work pretty much anywhere. I like to call myself a traveler as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a creative at heart. Yeah.
Why photography? Well, let's talk about photography first.
Yeah.
And then we'll loop back around to videography. But why photography?
You know what? Photography has always been like within my family. My mother is one of those mothers that was like, we would go to SeaWorld and stuff like that. And she would literally push us to the front and be like, I'm going to take this picture.
I know, that's right.
Front. Like, get to the front. And now that I'm older, I realize those moments where I'm so glad I can look back on them.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed like a lot of people don't have those moments.
Yeah.
And she made her way and she was like, y'all about to have some photos. And I just think that is such something that I'm like attached to and I want to give to other people as I give to myself. It's just such a special thing to capture memories and keep them and have them to pass down.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you went to school for
biology.
To be a veterinarian.
Yes, to be a vet. Like I studied at Howard University, and I was a biology major and went to Michigan State, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I love animals, but I was like, it is not fulfilling to me. So I definitely took a left turn. And I was like, it's going to hurt some people. It's going to hurt me, but I'm suffering and I gotta make a 180. So.
And then that's when, photography became something that was more fulfilling for you.
Yeah. So actually after that, I was still scrambling. Like after I left school, or left that veterinary path, I was still scrambling to figure out what I was going to do, because that was all that I knew.
Yeah.
And my family, like no one in my circle was really creative, so I didn't think that as an option. Mm-hmm. But I got into YouTube, and that kind of like saved me. It like opened so much. Like it opened my eyes to different possibilities.
Yeah.
So I got into YouTube, had to learn cameras, like strictly off the fact that like, if you want to do good, you got to learn.
Man.
You got to learn.
Listen, some days I go back and look at my old work. I'm like, dang, y'all pay me for this.
Literally.
But I appreciate y'all because y'all stayed down with the girl.
Telling you. I think my first video was so blurry and still posted. I thought it was the best thing. It was so blurry. I'm like, girl, and I just went like full force with it because I was like, this is something I'm proud of.
Yes.
Like, so that actually is where I kind of started when I left what I thought I was going to be when I was, a bio major. So YouTube kind of like shifted my path to photography and video. So yeah.
How many years has it been so far?
From YouTube or from?
Just videography, photography in total up until right now.
Since I like picked up my first camera, that was in 2014. So this will make year 9.
Year 9.
Yeah.
So within this particular Black History Month, the Black History Month project or campaign, I want to focus on for a second the business side of photography because being in the same field and being a photographer, the creative side is so much fun. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are days where I just want to pick my camera up and just shoot something just because. Like, that's just something, it makes me so excited. But then when you make it a business, it can be hard to balance being a creative and then also being a creative as a hobby, but then being a creative when it's also tied to a business. So what would you say has been some of the things you've learned, or some of the things you've learned, but then also some of the challenges of turning that hobby into a business?
Okay, I want to say I didn't explain when I was introducing myself that I am a business owner. You know that 'cause we're friends. But yeah, so I own my own business.
Kind of forced that out of you a little bit. Okay.
I own my own business, and I primarily shoot weddings and wedding videos. But I think balance has been like the biggest struggle of anything that I've encountered when it comes to being a creative that owns a business, especially since this is my full-time thing. It's like, I know I need to survive during this, but also this is something that is a passion. So trying to balance, like, not focusing on just the financial aspect, but also being like, okay, how does this still fulfill you?
Yes.
And I saw from another creator, and he said something that really touched me. Like, not only do I want to be a content creator, but a content creator. So like there are times where I'm like, you know, going down this tumbling hill of like, I have to focus on making ends meet.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but this is something I have to remind myself that I love. Yeah. Even when I'm not making money. Yeah. Like, I still have to, you know, massage those parts of it that make me want to keep going. Yeah. So it's hard, but I think that's why I keep you guys around, because y'all are like, we got to go do X, Y, Z. Yeah. And even though, you know, we're not working, like, let's do this project. Like, let's do this fun thing. Let's connect. So.
Do you think that, well, no, I'm going to rephrase this. What are some myths around photography that some people may get wrong or just are not aware of?
I think people think it's easy. Yeah. I think that's what I come across. But I think it's like they think all it is like you pick up a camera, it's going to be beastie. It's going to be the dopest thing ever. And I'm going to make money doing it. And it's like, you have to have business skills. You have to have editing skills. You have to have people skills. Like, you can't just pick up a camera and it does the work for you. I think that's what people think. They're like, what kind of camera you got? Yeah. What camera you got? Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but to keep people wanting to deal with you, it's like there's a whole package that comes with it. So I think people overlook the fact that like there's a lot more hard work behind the scenes or behind just having this fancy camera. So yeah, there's a full package behind it. There's organizational skills. There's so many things. There's just like being creative, how to keep people wanting to be involved in your business. Right. Like, you and I talk about it all the time. Like, what are new strategies? Because when the economy changes, your business changes, people don't want to deal. They think, let me not get pictures this time. So how do you keep combating that?
What would you say are maybe 2 or 3 things you learned about yourself being a business owner?
I've learned that, like, you don't have to tell me no. Like, I am a hustler. I'm going to keep going after it. I am a lioness. Like, even though I have this, like, softer demeanor, the people that don't know me, y'all know, that I don't play about my business. I don't play about my clients. I don't play about my friends. I don't play about this craft. Yeah. And I've learned, like, that is what separates, like, some people from getting further, because some people can try to run you over. Some people can try to, you know, use you. Yeah. There's just so many things. But then also you have to network. So you can't be in the corner. Like, people aren't going to know you if you don't get out there. Right. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things come into play. And I'm just like, you don't have to tell me no. Yeah. Like, you don't have to say it straight up in my face. Like, I don't want to deal with you. Yeah. But I'm going to keep, like, knocking on your door. So
you got to tell her no a couple times.
You're going to have to say no.
Because sis said she adamant. because she gonna get that yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at that. I think, and I actually want to go back to something that you said earlier. When you talked about why you chose photography, which is almost similar to mine too. You mentioned your mom and your family, and my parents were the same. You know, we grew up in the era where there was those big camcorders, you know, and the Polaroid cameras and the albums on top of albums that you just went through that your mama still got, or your grandma probably got them and they got dust on them and they underneath somebody's whatever and in the garage somewhere.
Listen.
And that was my life. My mom just recently sent me pictures because she was in the Cayman Islands visiting my grandmother, and they just sent me like all these older pictures, and I'm just like, dang, you know, I did it for the same reason.
Yeah.
To be able to capture my family. Didn't know a business was going to come out of it. I was just like, okay, y'all want to pay me for this? Cool. Shoot. I guess I'll do it. I mean, why not? And then, like you said, I had to skill up. I had to start learning different things and whatever the case may be. But, you know, being in the business of it, it can be so challenging. I recently had all my stuff stolen from me, and by the grace of God, because, like, I was able to bounce back. And that for me lit a fire underneath me as a person, but it also made me realize like having a business can be so challenging because it can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's how do you persevere and go past that, right? So I'm gonna wrap up this series because this has been a really great conversation.
Yeah.
And I really hope that a lot of people get to learn more about you. I am going to put all of her information at the bottom of the blog so you'll be able to know how to get in contact with her website, and so on and so forth. My last question, let me see. What are your 3 top movies or 3 favorite movies of all time?
My 3 favorite movies of all time. Okay, number 1, before it was cool, it was Poetic Justice, because I'm a Tupac fan. I'm a Janet fan.
Okay.
I'm a love story fan.
Okay, a little love story.
That's probably my top. My second favorite is probably The Notebook.
Oh, God. I recently watched that movie and I was in tears.
I love that movie.
I didn't realize how that movie was too much for me.
I'm a huge lover, so they gonna all be love movies. The third is probably Love and Basketball.
After all the controversy, you still sticking with that?
I don't know, man.
That's all right. It's your movie.
Maybe that, and then like Friday After Next or something like that.
Something fun?
Yeah, something fun.
Okay.
So
I love it. Well,
yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the last episode of this year's Black History Month campaign. And on that note, I'll see y'all next year. Peace.